everyone, welcome back to my studio. So I'm having a extremely busy day today. Now, a while ago, I made a beautiful green food platter, which for some reason I haven't even put on my Etsy store yet, which I will do. And I'll put a link to that video. And then I made a disastrous one that didn't work. It was a blue one. And I had a lot of people saying, well, try it again, do it again. So what I've done, I've been using all my leftover resin. I have these little molds that make these just adorable little flower, like roses, and any leftover resin I've been just, using them up and making them, and I just thought I would use them on another platter. Now, a lovely lady who, I'm sorry, but I can't remember your name, suggested that I use, because she said she had used it, Reynolds kitchen oven bags for turkeys, because she said it is fantastic. Now it's a little wrinkly, but I'm not worried about that because that's going to be underneath. This is, I'm just getting the sticker off this. This is going to be the base of it. The other way around though. So this is going to be a platter. I have some, you can see it's going to be a blue and white, or kind of blue and white and grey theme around the outside. I have some white ones and some clear ones here. So I'm just going to go and place these around. I'm going to mix up my resin, which will be predominantly blue, obviously, and I just thought these would be like a really nice contrast. So let me go ahead and mix my resin, and then I will pour my tray. This is going to be done in just one video, but I will be making it in two parts because once this has cured, I will then be attaching it to the base. So let me mix the resin and then I will be back in a sec. Okay, the resin's mixed, and what I've first mixed is aqua, because I think that's what I first mixed in the disaster. And I'm just going to pour this in the middle because I want this to be very ocean beachy, having people around and playing in the pool or paddling pool or whatever. This may need another coat, and actually this is definitely going to need another coat. So I was very worried about my turkey bag, so I've lifted it off my tray and it lifted up perfectly. I do not like all the wrinkles underneath. I'm a little worried about like some of the edges that seem not so settled. Some do seem settled, and I can definitely peel it off. So hooray to the lady who recommended the turkey bag. But normally I use, you see this, I wonder if you can see, let me move this platter, this thick plastic that I use as a base. This is what I normally use, and I tend to not get so many wrinkles because it's thicker. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm kind of worried about turning it over because I don't want to lose any of the crystals or the glass or my roses. It is peeling off nicely, and you know, I put some grey on because I wanted to match the grey roses. I think what I'm going to do with this is I am going to sand the back of this, and something just fell off there, or some glass crystals, and I can see why people don't want to do resin because it is harder work. Yeah, this one might fall off, but I can reattach that. You know, art is not easy, but if you want to do something with resin, it's going to be a lot more work. It's not going to be done in a couple of hours, and that's fine. You know, that's when art gets a little more difficult. So what I'm going to do now with this is I'm going to take it into my, what I call my dirty studio, and I'm going to, let me see, you can see it's kind of fragile in some places here. I'm going to, pieces are falling off. I'm going to turn it over, and actually probably what I'll do is turn it over on this and gently sand the back of this, and then I'm going to pour just clear resin on the back of this just to kind of like solidify it, which will hold these pieces in places. Like, and you know, there's still some plastic here, which actually if I took my torch would just burn, because basically resin is thick plastic, so these will just kind of melt into the back of it. Bear with me, I'm gonna go and do all this, sand the back of it. You'll see me pour the clear coat on the back, and once that's dry, you'll see me pour the ocean pigment on the front, and it will be absolutely gorgeous. The first layer of sanding is done, and you can see, you know, that I've sanded it, you know, pretty well. I'm now going to put some alcohol on it, and you can see there is a lot of sanding dust in the cracks. I can't do anything about. I'm not going to take a hairdryer and blow dust in my studio. Now I'm going to do the whole back of this, which will fill all the wrinkles, and it'll drip off all the edges and smooth in. See, that's going to smooth in all the wrinkles. So if you estimate each gallon of resin costs you approximately $100 or $90 plus your work time, that'll tell you how much your work is worth and how much you should sell your work for. This is great. Let's try and get this off plastic and my roses. Without hopefully pulling off my roses. No, I think it'll be fine. But I knew they'd be flashing, so I'm not too worried about that. So I think, sadly, those other scissors might go to scissor heaven. Ow. Oh, this is just, oh my gosh, this is going to be gorgeous. Okay, this looks terrible right now. Let me take, my little, molds aren't too bad. Let's take all this. Stuff off. Let me do this and then I'll come back. I'm gonna show you how I get most of the flashing off. Like if there's just like little skinny pieces, I'll just take an X-Acto knife and just trim it off. And what I've done is my torch sadly has died, and I bought another one on Amazon and it was faulty, so I've had to throw that away. So I'm back to this monster, which I hate because sadly it literally burns everything up, but I have no other option. So I'm going to show you how I get pieces off, and you know, this is the result. It literally burns fragments off. So don't be alarmed. I have to turn it on. This is the piece I'm going to get off. Turn my torch off, and then I get my X-Acto knife and then all this loose bit will come off easily. Like this bit caught fire and I didn't even notice that this was some flashing, but it obviously was, because if it wasn't, it wouldn't have caught fire. So anyway, that will come off easily. This is now, because it was flashing, it'll all be loose and it will come off, as you will see. And the other thing I'm going to do with this, I don't know if you can see, maybe you can see in the light, it's not a perfectly smooth surface. So what I'm going to do is sand this and put one very, very light flood coat down over the top, clear flood coat. Once I've got this little piece removed, I mixed the resin, and what I decided to do was add a teeny weeny amount of turquoise Bombay ink. This was the one that I had to get the most flashing off, and I had to file it down, so I'm just going to pour some resin over this one to get rid of the sanding, dullness that sanding causes, and that'll sink into the crevices and become all gorgeous. And then you'll see kind of some rippling here. I do like the smoky effect that I used, the Naked Fusion Luxe powder. I think it was the Silver Fox that I just kind of smudged over, which I liked because it matched the grey look of the, you know, black and white roses, flowers. Now I'm just going to add one last flood coat. Oh, I can't wait till my new torch arrives. Settles so completely. So I will see you when this is dry and wry, and then I will show you side to side with my green one. Okay, bye. So here are the two, the green platter that I made earlier, and the gorgeous blue with the roses and floral. I'm gonna bring you in for a close-up of the floral, and sadly this one has actually already sold, but I'm gonna make another, and it is gorgeous. And the green one is still for sale because for some reason, I'm having problems with Etsy uploading images. So I've got to contact Etsy with uploading images. I have no idea where that's happening. But anyway, there they are. And I am so happy with how this turned out. And thank you to all my subscribers and watchers for pestering me to persevere with carrying on with the blue one that crashed and died in the video before. Thank you, and see you again in my next video. Bye.